What's up EFT squad and welcome back to Scout Report. With international football back on our screens, let's take a look at 5 players who could become superstars for their country. 5. Matteo Guendouzi. One of the most exciting players to move to the Premier League in recent years, Matteo Guendouzi's early season form was earned in the first team call-up to the France national setup, having represented them at every level from the under-18s. The youngest player in the current Les Bleus squad at 20 years old, the Arsenal midfielder is stepping in for the injured Paul Pogba, and with N'Golo Kanté and Tanguy Ndombele also out, he has a chance of making his name on the international stage. Considering he was signed for just €8 million in the summer of 2018, Guendouzi has more than surpassed expectations at the Emirates, clocking up 52 appearances for the Gunners in just over a year. And this campaign, the Frenchman has stepped up his defensive game, making 4.6 tackles and interceptions a match compared with 3.1 last term. He is also more confident on the ball now, completing 60 passes a game, the most in the Arsenal squad, bar Xhaka and Ceballos, and is sustaining 88% pass accuracy. Guendouzi beats his new teammate Matuidi in all of those metrics this season, and even betters Tolisso in completing long balls a game on 2.8 per 90. Among France's current midfield crop, only Steven Nzonzi comes close to matching his defensive output. And while the return of Kanté and Ndombele will obviously change that, if the youngster can impress now, he'll be in prime position to take the place of the aging players in the long run. With the aforementioned Matuidi and Nzonzi both in their 30s and Moussa Sissoko turning 30 this summer, Guendouzi could well make the Euro 2020 squad with another good season under his belt. It is just as well that he rejected the chance to play for Morocco back in 2017. 4. Andre Lunin. Along with Alban Lafont and Donnarumma, Andre Lunin is one of a select few goalkeepers to have broken through at a ridiculously young age in recent years. The Ukrainian stopper made his senior debut for Dnipro at just 17 years old and within a year had moved to Zori Luhansk. Impressive displays both domestically and in the Europa League earned him an €8.5 million switch to Real Madrid in 2018. Since then, top-level club experience has been lacking for the youngster, who earned just 6 starts on loan at Ligue in 2018-19. However, the keeper kept 2 clean sheets in those games and pulled off 3.5 saves per 90. Pretty impressive considering his side conceded the 5th least shots per match in the division, 10.8, which was actually less than Atletico Madrid. He was near impenetrable at the Under-20 World Cup this summer, conceding just 4 goals in 6 games as Ukraine saw off talented Italy, Colombia and South Korea sides to win the tournament for the first time in their history. And despite missing the quarter-final due to being called up to the senior squad for a friendly, Lunin was awarded the Gold Gloves for his outstanding displays. He very much remains Ukraine's number 2, with just 3 senior appearances to his name at the time of recording. It's surely only a matter of time before he's manning the sticks full-time for his country, with 35-year-old captain Andrei Piatov the only figure in his way. 3. Jadon Sancho. One of the stars of the 2018-19 Bundesliga season, Jadon Sancho has picked up where he left off at the beginning of the campaign. The English attacker already has 2 goals and 3 assists in 3 league appearances for Borussia Dortmund as the club looks to mount another serious title challenge. Having signed a new contract reported to be worth £190,000 a week, Sancho is now on superstar wages, and the early signs show that he could be even more devastating this season. The 19-year-old has upped his shots per game from 1.5 to 2, has upped his passes from around 40 a match to 65, and is sustaining an 87% pass accuracy, truly excellent for a creative forward. And while the youngster is yet to truly nail down his place in England's starting 11, he is impressed in limited minutes for the Three Lions. In 6 international appearances, Sancho has provided 2 assists and even scored a penalty in the Nations League shootout against Switzerland. While the former Man City man is valued at over €150 million by the Football Observatory, we reckon this is probably an understatement, considering his latest deal at Dortmund. England's most exciting young talent since Raheem Sterling and perhaps even Wayne Rooney, Jadon Sancho will no doubt be key for Gareth Southgate's Euro 2020 ambitions. 2. Kai Havertz. Like Sancho, Kai Havertz took the Bundesliga by storm last season, making the most of his transition into a more advanced position by scoring 17 goals across the campaign. The young German ended 2018-19 as Bayer Leverkusen's top scorer in all competitions, helping Diva itself to Champions League qualifications before his 20th birthday. But despite averaging a strike every 170 minutes last season and making a regular appearance for Leverkusen since his debut in 2016, Havertz is yet to rack up a decent amount of experience on the international stage. At the time of recording, he has just 3 caps for Germany, despite Thomas Müller and Mesut Ozil being out of the picture for the last year. Slotting back into a central attacking midfield role this term, Havertz has upped his creative output, laying on 1.7 chances a game compared to 1 last season. Compare that to Leon Goretzka, who occupies a similar position for Germany, and you could argue he'd be more effective for Joachim Löw's side. The Bayern Munich man racked up less than 1 key pass per 90 last season. And despite playing a deeper role in 2019-20, Havertz is still proven to be a goal threat. He has 1 goal in 3 games at the time of recording and is taking 1 shot in the box per match. Now valued at over 70 million euros, the 20-year-old is clearly Germany's hottest young player, and with Diamond Shaft bouncing back after a torrid 2018, a year in which they failed to win a single competitive match, he could become a talismanic figure as they strive to return to past glories. 1. Alexander Isak. A well-known talent since he's moved to Borussia Dortmund in 2017, Alexander Isak's time at the Westfalen Stadium was ultimately unsuccessful. After just 5 Bundesliga appearances in 1.5 seasons, the Swedish forward was loaned out to Willemsby in the Eredivisie and is now on a permanent deal at Real Sociedad. But despite being on our radar for nearly 3 years, Isak is still only 19, and his form in the Netherlands suggests he still has a very bright future. In just 16 Eredivisie appearances, the youngster hit 13 goals and 6 assists, averaging a goal involvement every 72 minutes, nearly matching Dusan Tadic's average of 1 every 71 minutes for the all-conquering Ajax. A well-rounded centre-forward with intelligence to match his blistering pace and skill, Isak took 3.6 shots a game in the Dutch top flight last term, with 83% of them coming from inside the box. Pretty amazing considering his side averaged just 11 attempts a match. The teenager also laid on 1.6 chances per 90, showing just how integral he was to the Willem attack, and he will no doubt be just as vital to his country over the coming years. The youngest member of the current Sweden squad by some distance, Isak already has 4 goals in 7 international appearances. For context, teammate John Guidetti has scored 2 in 25. Should Sweden make the Euro finals next summer, we wouldn't bet against Isak making a big impact on one of the biggest stages. So that was 5 wonder kids who we think can become superstars for their countries. If you think we've missed anyone out or have any suggestions, get them down in the comments below. And as always people, like and subscribe.